Now it's time to finally get into the tea party. Oh, please pull up a seat and wind down. Is our sojourn on Rakijima a pleasant one? The Golden Witch has gifted you with an invitation to her tea party. I hope that you will participate. Oh my god. I'm still not over it. I'm still destroyed. Oh. Bread of life.
Erika, Dlanor.
はい、我が主。お呼びですか？
あなたたちは引き続きこのかけらにとどまり、残る第1から第4のゲームすべてを解明しなさい。もはや魔女幻想を主張する哀れなかりそめ魔女は存在しない。むき出しの真実を徹底的に暴いてやりなさい。
お任せを、我が主。このフルドエリカに解けぬ謎はありません。
当然よ。それでこそ私の駒、私の分身だわ。
I need a chair. I need a chair. Erika wore a massive and horrible smile, which Erika shared. Beatrice's illusion of the witch would disappear, and the results in all previous games will be painted over. It had been crushed in every possible way, and only the naked truth remained. Such a weak truth was no better than a fish on the chopping board for Erika.
過去の4つのゲームはすべて夏日の犯行とそのイレギュラーで説明可能です。もはやベアトリーチェなる魔女の犯行とは二度と語らせません。直ちに編纂に入り、極上の物語を献上してご覧に入れます。
I doubt it.
ベアトの魔女伝説はひとかけらも残してはダメよ。使用人たちの間の噂、不可解な出来事をそうであるかのように語る空気、金蔵の幻想と連動した魔女幻想、すべて完全に処分しなさい。
無論です。直ちに着手いたします。現在家具たちの身柄を拘束、よりしろの特定を急いでいます。
The seven sisters of purgatory had already been taken into custody. Those noisy sisters who had served Beato now faced nothing but denial. What sort of illusion were they based upon that allowed them to manifest? Everything would be exposed and denied.
アイゼルネ・ヨングフラウはすでに調査を開始しております。最新の調査結果では1960年代にニューヨーク近隣で製造された可能性が濃厚です。すでに補佐官が現地入りしております。
1960年代、煉獄の7姉妹はメイドイン USA?
Okay, that was good.
ソロモン王に連なる1000年の魔女に仕える家具とか威張っておきながら、とんだまがいものじゃない。何者なの？
報告によればイミテーションを売りつけて高額詐欺を働く集団があるとか。騙された富豪が同様に曰く月を語って転売するため、マリア間で偽られ神格化された可能性があるとのことです。裏付けと詳細特定を急がせています。その界隈では後ろ宮金蔵はどんなパチモノにも大金を払う乗客だったとか。
それが煉獄の7姉妹の正体？おかしいわ。ベアトの魔女幻想らしいとんだまがいものだわ。
7つの大罪を語る分際でイミテーションの見ありもの風情だったわけです。まあ私も初めて見た時からいかがわしい見ありもの屋で売ってる文鎮に過ぎないとは思ってたわけですが。
Erika, do you really think you're the real thing, Erika?
文鎮。その真実はもう7姉妹には突きつけた？
いいえ、まだです。あいつらまだ自分たちは1000年以上前に偉大なる魔術師によって生み出されたとか本気で信じてやがります。早く完璧な証拠と真実を突きつけ、自分たちが原価30ドルにも満たない文鎮風情であることを思い知らせてやりたいです。
その時 どんな顔を見せて絶望するのかしら。楽しみだわ。その際には私を呼びなさい。最高の紅茶と梅干しを持って鑑賞に来るわ。
And Bern Castell, do you really think you're the real deal? Beato's illusion of the wish had already been penetrated, and it had been proven that everything was simply the result of human delusions. What kind of delusions created them, and what caused these in the first place? When the answers were proven perfectly and shoved in the faces of those concerned, the illusion would vanish and be completely annihilated. This is what it meant by execution.
処刑は見せ物ではありません。原則非公開です。
元老院議員であらせられる大ベルンカステル教による大法院が職務を適正に執行しているかの視察です。
Great Lady Bern Castell, member of the Senate. I am the Senate.
異端審問官風情が拒否する気ですか？
Ah! Rush forward with a lightsaber. Oh my god.
ええ、そうよ。ドラノールたちが職務を正規の手順で遂行するかどうか、私は元老院を代表して視察するだけよ。
I am the Senate.
ワルギリア、ロノウェ、ガープたちも現在拘束へ向けて準備中です。シエスタ姉妹近衛隊が捜索に当たっています。無論その後にベアトリーチェに関わった3人についても拘束処刑します。
Isn't there a rank above Voyagers? Isn't there like
ドラノール、シエスタ姉妹の正体は？
高い確率で犯行に用いた凶器がよりしろではないかと推定されます。ガートルード上級補佐官が専従チームを結成、全件を調査中です。
シエスタ姉妹の処刑も楽しみです。一人ずつ。
Oh my god, even sisters.
まとめて一度に。
茶葉の缶を中身全部ポットに入れるバカはいないわ。一さじずつゆっくり味わわなくちゃ。
まったくです。処刑は連日行いましょう。家具たちに魔女たちに一人ずつ連日の処刑賞を必ずやお届けします。
素敵じゃない。何しろ随分の人数がいるからね。2週間くらいはたっぷり楽しめそうじゃない？誰から処刑するか、その順序を彼らに決めさせるとか。
Oh my god.
処刑概念についても最高の提案をするように、古今東西のあらゆる処刑を毎日楽しみたいわ。
処刑は大法院規定の方法でと規則があります。
お任せを、我が主。必ずや魅力的な処刑賞を準備いたします。
最低でも四つ咲き系くらいにはなさいよ。
Oh my
無
god.
論です。
This is Rika going all revenge mode because of her past, isn't it? Oh my god.
ヨーロッパ各国からアジア各国まで、東西のあらゆる王国が採用した国王への反逆罪にのみ適用される各国最高の処刑を列挙してご覧に入れます。
私からも処刑方法を提案したいわ。それに悩むことは寝苦しい夜の最高の清涼剤だから。アイデアを練って今度手紙で送るわ。
かしこまりました、我が主。ではベルンカステル式はその最後のフィナーレに。全ての幻想を打ち破り、ベアトの魔法体系を完全に打破した最後の最後にて、ベアトリーチェの処刑にて我が主の望まれる最高の処刑を。
ありがとうエリカ。あなたのおかげで私は病の辛さを当分の間忘れることができそうだわ。
Pain of my illness.
あなたは最高だわ。私の駒、私の分身、そして私の可愛い娘。
もったいないお言葉です、我が主。
エリカ、あなたに栄誉と褒美を与えるわ。ベアトの最大の象徴であるあの大広間の肖像画、あれを外して叩き割り、その薪にてケーキを焼いて食べなさい。 そして残った学歴にあなたの肖像画を掲げることを許すわ。
Oh my god. Oh, here it is. The portrait of Erika.
ありがとうございます。
Erika in the portrait is much more beautiful. I'm sorry.
最高の栄誉です。
ベアトリーチェの名前と痕跡のすべての抹殺抹消、それがすべて終わるまでの間、あなたにこの閉じられた六軒島の主となることを命じるわ。奇跡の魔女ベルンカステルの名において、その日まであなたに魔女の位を与えることを宣言するわ。これよりあなたは真実の魔女エリカを名乗りなさい。
Erika, the Witch of Truth. Oh.
真実の魔女。ありがとうございます、我が主。
The truth. Oh my god, that's really powerful,
こ
I
の栄
think.
誉に恥じぬ
I don't know.
一層の働きを誓います。
Even though she was nothing more than a piece, she was being granted the honor of calling herself a witch like her master, if only for a brief stretch of time. Erika was so moved that her actions had been acknowledged in this greatest form that she trembled.
ドラノールは引き続きエリカを補佐し、その進捗を私に報告しなさい。
御意です。
ところでラムダはどこ？
あちらにおられます。
From the guests seating on the second floor, she pointed downwards. Lambdadelta could be seen beneath Battler, who hung there, dead and pierced by the red longsword.
後ろ宮バトラか。面白い男だったわ。そしてもっと面白くなれたかもしれないのに。残念ね。
見事な死に様じゃない。エリカ、このバトラの亡骸は屋敷の大広間に飾るといいわ。次に私がこのかけらに訪れるときは、私をその前で迎えなさい。
かしこまりました、我が主。
You killed Angie and now you killed Battler. Fuck you.
愚かなる男の姿を
Oh my god,
永遠
I'm
に
sorry.
主の勝利の記念碑といたします。
それは素敵ね。洒落てるわ。漆喰で塗り固めて美しい純白の石像にするといい。可愛らしくデコなんかもしてくれちゃったら最高ね。
はい、ラムダデルタ卿、ご期待に添えるよう努力します。
おめでとう、魔女就任。一時的なものであれ。私はあなたを友人として迎えるわ。
Erika was so overcome with emotion that tears came to her eyes. Because for a piece, no greater pleasure exists than having your work acknowledged by your master.
最後にはベアトも剥製にしてやりたいわ。そして大広間に高々と飾ってやるの。
白樺湖畔？
人間狩りの伯爵よ。
私、
Ooh.
魔女じゃなかった頃にあれを読んで永遠の命を得た人間って不思議に思ったことがあるわ。あの時の私は正直共感できなかった。
魔女になって1000年を生きてよくわかるわ。あれの筆者は本当の意味で私たちの残酷さをよく理解していたのよ。
次はどこへ行く？どうせ旅立ちはお互い背中を向けてでしょ？
あなたに退屈をしたくないからよ。
ありがとう、ベルン。でも私はきっと100を数えたらまたあなたを探し始めるわよ。
退屈させない子ね。だから好きよ。愛してるわ。またどこかで会いましょう。もっとも100年先か1000年先か、未来永劫再会しないかもわからないけれど。
大丈夫よ。愛し合う二人にかけらの海は狭いわ。
第三の男、
天井桟敷だってば。
They're
あ
making
の
all the
星空の
the
ように
references
輝く
here.
無数のかけらを
I see.
一つ砕くたびに一晩は退屈の毒から解放されると分かったら、お前だって星の数を数えてみたくなる。
うまいうまい。
The Voyager witches travel across the countless glittering futures of possibility and gobble them up, trying to escape their illness called boredom for as long as they can. The tiny fragment created by the human known as Beatrice had now been gobbled up by the two witches and had lost its glitter. The two who had earlier called themselves rivals in front of Beato now stopped their charade and laughed together playfully.
エリカ、新しきこのかけらの支配者、あなたが真実を紡ぎ、この世界の終焉までの物語を描きなさい。次は第6のゲームだっけ？
はい、第6のゲームです。
エピソード6はなんてタイトルにするかあなたが決めなさい。もはやこの物語の紡ぎ手でありマスターであるのはあなたなのだから。
ありがとうございます。実はもう決めてあります。
あら、もうなの？なら聞かせてちょうだい。なんてタイトルなの？
はい、エピソード6。本当はじらしたいんですがお教えします。
何よ、もったいぶらずに教えなさいよ。新米魔女のくせに先輩じらすとかってありえないわ。
Oh man. This is not gonna be good.
エピソード6、チェックメイト・オブ・ザ・ゴールデン・ウィッチ。
Oh my god. Someone needs a chair to the face. And I think that there are 3 people that need that chair in the face. Bern Castell the most. I'm really mad at Bern Castell. I'm really angry at Bern. Welcome to the tea party of the unhuman. Let's go. I need to see the next. Someone needs a chair in the face. Oh, Battler. Oh my god. In the cathedral devoid of people, a figure could be seen, still staring up at the heavens, its chest pierced with a long red sword that pinned it and placed to the ground. That figure was Battler. Ironically, it looked just like what he'd done to Beato, with blue edges in the 4th game. Battler had died quite some time ago. No, in this place the concept of death means nothing except that one stopped thinking. Therefore, in a sense, Battler was not dead. After being defeated in a fight over the truth and surrendering, he no longer had the strength to think of a way to resist. That's what made him dead. Dlanor's massive long sword, which had been left in place of a tombstone, fastened Battler to the spot even after his death. This was all being lit by a faint light. Oh, there's someone walking. This was all being lit by a faint light seeping out of an incredibly high skylight. Quiet footsteps rang out across this still cathedral. Oh. From the darkness behind a pillar, a woman slowly stepped forward. It was Beatrice. It was like they'd been the whole time in the Golden Land. Her eyes had no light in them, and were still muddied over with gray. This person was once unable to even drink black tea to her satisfaction by her own will. Although it was low, and though there was no life in her eyes, she was surprisingly walking. Then, with slow, deliberate steps, she reached Battler, who was still dead, pierced through. Then she slowly touched Battler. She tugged on his sleeve. However, Battler showed no reaction when she realized that it wasn't sleep but death, which with hopeless gaze let her head hanging even lower. Then she quietly whispered,
"Usotsuki."
Beato softly touched Battler. Then she pressed her forehead against Battler's chest. There was no longer any heartbeat. It wasn't just because he had surrendered. It was because the witches had chased him from the game board. So from now on, Battler would never return. So from now on, the Golden Witch Beatrice would have no reason to exist.
ありがとう、 嘘つき、さよなら。そしてごめんね。
My God. Oh my God. Then the Golden Witch completed her task and scattered a spray of gold. As a spray of gold. Come on, in the Golden Land, the grey rain gently continued to fall. There was a faint aroma of good black tea. Beato stared blankly at its surface. There was Virgilia continuing her knitting, along with me and Dlanor talking to each other. This is a recollection from Battler's memory, which Dlanor's sword must have given him as it pierced him. A recollection of that time Dlanor had come to visit the tea party in the Golden Lands.
私も同じです。次に太刀を交えるときは遅れは取りません。
上等だ。相手してやるぜ。全力で来い。
約束し全力です。
Dlanor, huh? I thought she was an emotionless killer doll without a heart, but maybe she actually is pretty approachable. Though of course neither of us will show any mercy when fighting over the game board. For a while we gazed at the rain-drenched rose garden as we quietly enjoyed our tea.
しかし恐ろしいもんだな。お前の戦い方は。ノックス10回だったっけか。ミステリーのお約束ってやつだろ。
はい、我が父が考案した戒律です。
隠し扉は存在してはならない。ノックス第3条だっけか。だから探偵は隠し扉を探す必要さえないわけだ。なかなかな暴論だな。
Erika said it herself. She said that because they were forbidden by Noxus III, even searching for hidden doors was a waste of time. I like to counter that by saying it probably isn't so common for a rich family mansion to have a hidden door or two built into it. But apparently that sort of rule works perfectly well in the mystery genre. By the way, there exist many wonderful mysteries in which hidden doors appear, and where hidden doors are the theme. Of course, this is limited to novels which have the premise that hidden doors exist. That premise doesn't exist, hidden doors must not exist. So because that premise doesn't exist, there's no need to search for hidden doors. I think that's probably the essence of her ridiculous argument. It's like the detective trying to expose the truth, the illusion trying to confuse it with a mixture of truth and lies, and getting blended together, leading to a bizarre form of argument similar to a devil's proof. Making a closed-room murder seem to be accomplished by a witch with her magic is fantasy. Exposing that it was a human's crime done with tricks is anti-fantasy. Examining all possibilities to expose the nature of those tricks is a mystery, but it is also a mystery to claim that possibilities with no hints supporting them are unworthy of investigation. Let's say a hidden door is hidden in a way that there would be no clues. Would claiming that a hidden door therefore exists even though a detective couldn't find it be an anti-mystery? That's enough of that. This argument is too far of a digression from the riddles I'm actually supposed to be solving. My fight is very simple. I'm only trying to explain how it would be possible for a human to carry out these crimes that were supposedly carried out by a witch. This whole discussion about mystery and anti doesn't serve any purpose. That is why I didn't have any particular interest regarding these rules known as the Nox Decalogue.
ノクスはお嫌いですか？
苦手だな。隠し扉の存在を調べもせずに全否定可能なんて悪魔の証明並みにうさんくせえな。ファンタジーの対極のはずなのになぜか同じ論法になっちまってる気がするぜ。言い過ぎた。お前の親父が作ったんだもんな。
Oh, Ronald
お
Knox
気に
is
な
it?
さらずに 戯れに過ぎないとおっしゃる方もいらっしゃいますので。
バトラ君には実会はかなり傲慢なものに感じられるのでしょう。
正直なところを言えばな。
It's the rules made for the detection club so that the other authors could actually at least know who the culprit was before the end. So if you were smart enough to try and gather clues, but yeah,
隠し扉は存在してはいけないから
it's a fun game
調
for
べる
the
必要さえ
reader,
ないなんて。
but
そんな探偵がいたら
it's not really realistic, is it?
頭のネジが落ちてないかどうか一緒に床を探してやるところだぜ。
ではバトラー、その第3条をなかったことにしましょう。そうなったら密室ミステリーはどうなるでしょうか。
What if Nox's third hidden doors are forbidden didn't
つ
exist?
まり密室トリックのオチに隠し扉が OK になるってことか。
手がかりや伏線のある隠し扉ではありません。隠しなのですから無論探偵にも発見できない隠し扉です。
バトラ君はよく悪魔の証明により発見できない X の存在を仮定して戦いますね。つまりはそういうことですよ。
最悪だな。密室ミステリーが読み物として破綻しちまう。
And if it were no longer worth anyone's time, it would cease to exist. No one wants to try solving the riddle from the beginning, not if they knew that the answer might be just some unforeseeable hidden door.
せめて隠し扉はありませんと保証してもらってからじゃないと推理する気も起きない。なるほど。ノックス第3条は必要だな。それがなけりゃ密室ミステリーは読み物にもなりゃしねえ。
推理する気も起きないとはつまりどういうことですか。
つまり読む気もしねえってことだな。
そういうことです。人間は推理可能だという保証を得なければ思考さえできない。
推理可能、すなわち頑張れば解けますよという励ましが必要なのです。
That might be true. It's the same with exercising. If you're told to run around the campus 10 times, you can tough it out. However, if you don't know how many times you're supposed to run around it, you'd probably get tired out before you made it around 3 times. The same things go for thinking and reasoning. Humans view a problem differently, depending on whether or not it's guaranteed to be solvable.
推理小説で探偵が犯人が分かったと宣言するシーンがあるでしょ。あれはつまりそこまでの文章で手がかりは全て記したから。読者諸君、どうぞ推理をしてくださいと。
へえ、単なるお約束のセリフかと思ってたがそんな意味があったんだな。
意地悪に言うと探偵がそう宣言しない限りどんなにミステリーを愛する推理自慢の読者であっても推理をする気力は生じないということです。
過去のゲームにおけるあなたもそうではありませんでしたか。
Ooh, now that I hear it, maybe that really was the case. Maybe my fight against Beato really began in the second game. At first I didn't seriously try to tackle the closed room riddles Beato threw at me. After all, I knew nothing except that the people had died in a closed room, and the windows and doors were all locked from the inside. I mean, seriously, talk about having no hints to go on. So I refused to argue on the grounds that I couldn't fight, because the lack of clues made reasoning impossible. After that, didn't Beato sneer at me, asking whether I repeated that over and over forever in an endless repetition of moves? At that time, Beato said this.
貴様ら無能どもがいつも嘆いてみせる思考停止の理由、情報不足。そしてそれに対し情報を与えると今度はその情報の真偽を疑う根拠否定。便利よな。無能を棚上げする実に小気味よい言葉よ。
Ooh. Then she said she'd give me certain information that couldn't be denied, and created a rule called the Red Truth. Once we reached that point, the curtain finally rose on my battle with Beato.
俺はベアトに この物語は挑めば解けるという保証をもらって初めて同じ土俵に上がったというわけか。
ベアトリーチェ、不思議な方です。謎こそが魔女の住まう狭間なのに、自らその謎を暴くことのできる赤き真実をあなたに与え始めたのですね。
You could say that the red truth is a hint Beato gives me so that I can compete in this way of war of reasoning, like candy. Because I've been given hints, it's like she's saying, try and solve it, for it can be solved. An enigma that's guaranteed to be solvable can't be called a true enigma.
これではまるでベアト自身が自分は本当は魔女じゃないって自分で認めてるようなものじゃないか。
おやおや、確かにそうなりますね。本当におかしな子です。
Beato gave no answer. With gray eyes, she did nothing but blankly gaze at the steam rising from her black tea.
我が父は思考する力に杖を与えるために実戒を生み出したのです。決して物事を傲慢に決めつけるためではありません。
思考する力に杖。
そうです。ノックス第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。これは手がかりなしに当て推量で推理をしてはいけないという意味だけではありません。
逆に言えば出題者は解決のための手がかりを必ず提示しなければならないということです。
つまり実戒に従うなら全ての謎には必ずヒントがあり、よって必ず解決は可能だと保証されていることになるわけか。
I see. So this is what they mean by a crutch for the power of thinking. If you can believe that it's solvable, you will start wanting to have a go at it, at those riddles. If you're capable of believing that hints do exist, you get fired up about rereading the story to search for them.
確かに推理しようとする人間にとって勇気を与える力はあるかもしれないな。
ノックス実戒はミステリーの出題者に課す制限と思われがちですが、読み手にとっても大切なものなのです。実戒を杖とすることで推理する勇気と必ず隠されているに違いない手がかりを求めて何度も物語を読み返す気力を授かるのです。
硬くて開かない。ジャム瓶の蓋みたいだな。母さんがよく言ってたぜ。開かないと思ってるといくら頑張っても開かないって。スポーツにもそういうのあるよな。必ず自分は成し遂げられるという強いイメージがあるのとないのでは記録に大きく差が出るというし。
In that case, the Nox Decalogue isn't really a set of arrogant and strict restrictions. You can also see it as a way to encourage readers who are trying to solve the mystery by telling them to give it their all, since it's definitely solvable.
面白い解釈だ。しかし世の中の推理小説すべてが必ず実戒を守ってるわけでもないと聞いたぜ。そういう作品にぶち当たった時騙されたってことにはならないのかよ。
実戒もまた解釈の一つに過ぎず、全てのミステリーに適用できるものではありません。父の原理主義者の方々は激しく糾弾される方もいらっしゃるようですが。
Oh. There is no end of arguments like this in the mystery world. Was this or that famous detective novel really a fair mystery? In other words, one that followed Nox's Decalogue? That sort of argument is always an eternal theme of the mystery world. In fact, in mysteries discussions, arguments like these sometimes become even more heated than the discussions of the actual tricks.
そりゃ糾弾したくもなるだろうな。実戒に従い解けると信じて挑んで、実は解けるようにできてませんでしたってオチだったらさぞや悔しくて仕方ないだろうぜ。
That's right. When fighting with the Decalogue, there's just one thing you want guaranteed from the beginning. In other words, you want a guarantee that this detective novel will adhere to the Decalogue. If a work labels itself as an orthodox mystery, then you have nothing to worry about. However, the mystery genre contains many unorthodox subgenres within it. Does that mean that trying to use reasoning in an unorthodox detective novel is a complete waste of time?
それはそれで傲慢な気もするな。
Are they going to bring up Van Dyne's rules?
はい、私も父の実戒をそのような傲慢の武器にされるのは非常に悲しいことです。
お前は実戒を武器にさっきベアトと戦ったわけだが、それはつまりこのベアトのゲームの世界がノックス実戒にのっとっているという証なのか。
Yes. When I asked that, there was a strange silence. Virgilia, Dlanor, and of course Beato all remained silent for a while, almost as though my question had touched the core of something.
それは私の口からは言えません。
どうして？
これはこの子の作ったゲームです。あなたと勝敗を決めるためのゲーム。この子はそれをミステリーとファンタジーの対決のように呼んでいました。しかし残念ながら本格推理とは一言も言っていません。すなわち実戒にのっとっているという保証はないということです。
I mean, it was solvable, but still.
しかし同時にミス・ベアトリーチェはあなたとの勝負のゲームだともおっしゃっています。
I guess.
それはすなわちあなたにも勝利する余地があるということ。
It is solvable, but it doesn't need to follow all the rules.
すなわ
I
ち
guess.
推理は可能だってそう言いたいのか。
この子に言わせればおそらく推理は可能となるのでしょう。しかしこの子とバトラ君が送り手と受け手の関係であるように2人は異なる存在です。ベアトにとって推理可能なつもりで出題したものがあなたにとっても推理可能なものなのかは別の問題です。
For example, let's say we propose a simple riddle that any Japanese person could know. However, if the person we're telling this riddle to is a foreigner with Japanese English dictionary in their hand, it might be almost impossible to solve. In other words, it's possible to have a one-sided solvable problem, which might be easy for the questioneer, but extremely difficult for the person trying to solve it. By the way, do you know of the foreign riddle? Why do dragons sleep all day? The answer is to battle the night. It's a riddle from the English realm, so it might be a little tough for a Japanese person.
だからこそ私はこの物語がバトラ君に絶対に解けるものだと約束することができません。しかしこれだけは約束できます。赤き真実でそれを保証します。
なんだ？
ベアトはあなたに解いてほしいと願って解けるようにこのゲームをこの物語の謎を生み出しました。それだけは私が赤き真実で保証します。
It was the one guarantee that all those who try to use reasoning desire.
その答えが我が父の実戒にのっとり導き出せるものかは分かりません。しかしバトラが悩み苦しみ推理の指針を求める時にもしも思い出したなら我が実戒も試してみてください。再び挑む勇気とひょっとすると何か新しい発見を与えてくれるかもしれません。
ありがとうよ。心底行き詰まったらお前の戦い方も参考にしてみるぜ。っていいのかよ。敵に塩を送っちまって。
お気になされずに。手土産も持たずに訪れた茶会です。茶花の代わりとなったなら幸いです。それに私と再び相まみえたならそんな悠長なことを言っている暇はおそらくないでしょうから。
Nox's Decalogue and Virgilia's Red Truth.
ベアトは俺に解いてほしいと願って 解けるようにこのゲームの謎を生み出した。
In other words, Beato wants me to be capable of solving it. Isn't that proof that reasoning is possible? Of course, that's from Beato's point of view. It doesn't necessarily mean that reasoning is possible for me. Compared to before now, when I didn't even know whether reasoning was possible or not, that one line might give me a great deal of courage. At least it has the power to silence any negative thoughts about this all being useless.
推理できると先に相手に証明させなくては推理をしない。まるで奥手な若者の恋愛のようですね。
恋愛？
Oh my god.
自分のことを愛してくれると相手が先に証明しない限り、自分も相手を愛したくないでしょ。
Ooh, that's hitting, Battler. Both boys and girls want to hear someone else say they love them first. That's their dream. They are in love. They don't want to love the other person until they're sure this person loves them back. After all, there's nothing as painful as one-sided love, and the scars of the heart left behind last a long time. Because they are afraid of that pain, they want proof that the other person loves them first more than anything else.
なるほど。推理小説における作家と読者の関係を面白く表現しています。
Yeah, maybe you could liken detective novels to that. Both the writer and the reader first want the other party to say they'll solve it, or that it can't be solved. Until the writer is assured that the reader will certainly have a go at the riddle if they propose it, they don't want to write their story. The same goes for the readers. Until they are assured that they will certainly be able to solve the riddle if they try, they don't want to read the story, because they don't want to write what they consider a masterpiece and be hurt when no one reads it, because they don't want to reason about what they consider a masterpiece and be hurt when they realize it was all useless.
その理論によると、まさに奥手な小学生中学生の恋愛だな。
Yukishi's true feelings here. Oh my god.
気があるくせに打ち明ける勇気もなく、相手の告白を待ってもじもじしたまま何の進展もなく、ひと夏が終わる。いやいや、他の男とくっついちまうことだってあるぜ。俺の初恋もそんな感じだったさ。
Oh. Battler. Along with these one-sided feelings they can express, they lament the passage of a summer that will never come again, and the days of their youth end. Battler, oh my god. First love went with another guy. Oh. The writer wouldn't write until he gained the support of readers. Goes for all eternity without releasing his maiden work. The reader who waited for the writer's rise to fame goes their whole life without knowing the joy of the mystery genre.
バトラ君、その卵が先か鶏が先かという奥手な恋愛はどの段階にまで進んだら相思相愛の関係になるのですか？
それは積み重ねだろうな。まず友達関係から始めてコミュニケーションを増やし、こいつはきっと俺のことが好きで俺もこいつのことが好きだと疑えなくなった段階を二人が共有できたところで、まあ多分自然と恋人関係に進めるんじゃないかと。唐突な告白で始まった関係は割と別れることも多いが、実は互いに告白したことがなく気づいたらずっと一緒にいたって連中の方が案外付き合いは長いってのが俺の今日までの印象だ。
つまり互いが相手を信じる信頼関係が生まれたらということですね。
かもな。意外だぜ。ミステリーってのは作家と読者のバトルだと思ってたんだが、実はそうじゃないのか。
ええ、互いが信頼し合った上でしか成立しない愛ある関係なのですよ。
じゃあこいつと俺の関係も殺し合いじゃなくて愛ある関係だっていうのかよ。
意地悪をし合う 小学生同士の関係程度にしか見えませんがね。
Oh my god. Virgilia joked at us in a middle-aged woman sort of way. Still, though I'm not expecting friendship or a trusting relationship, I can accept her as a rival. Beato is fighting in full force, trying to make me acknowledge that she's a witch. So I'll respond to that and go all out, trying to deny that witches exist.
ミス・ベアトが正面から全力であなたにぶつかっていると、どうしてあなたは言い切れるのですか？
見てりゃわかるだろ。
あなたに全力で正面からぶつかっていると彼女が赤き真実で宣言したわけではありません。なのにあなたはそれを疑わないわけですか？赤き真実以外は何も信じないとおっしゃったあなたがです。
She got you there.
バトラ君の言うところのコミュニケーションが増え、互いの関係が疑えなくなった段階というものに違いないですね。
Virgilia and Dlanor giggled together. Oh my god, that face! Oh my god. One guy, multiple women. And the topic is love. Wait a sec. Isn't this the worst possible formation to get for getting made fun of? And I tried to bring back a proper mood for a tea party in rainy golden lands by clumsily searching for a more noble subject. Virgilia saw right through me and laughed. Even amidst this, Beato kept looking downwards with those grey eyes, staring into her black tea. Yeah, that's right. Virgilia and Dlanor had given me so many hints, and yet I barely thought about it all at all. By now, it's all too late. Let me think. Everything is too late already, and I've got an endless amount of time on my hands. Let me think. One more time. Let me think about the red truth Virgilia gave me, and the crutch of the Decalogue that Dlanor lent me. With the red truth, Virgilia guaranteed that at very least, Beato left enough room in the stale for me to achieve victory. That red truth guarantee will once again give him the power to start my heart beating. And there's the crutch of the Decalogue, which Dlanor lent me. Dlanor herself warned me in the beginning that the Decalogue isn't so almighty that it can solve all riddles. However, she said something about how it could be used as a method to solve, no, to take on riddles. Let me try. There's no guarantee that this tale is mystery or fantasy. Let me believe that I'll definitely be able to solve it. That is a solvable tale, a mystery. Let me take it on one last time. When I came to, I was suddenly in that strange tea room where I'd often argued furiously with Beato from across the table. Of course, Beato was nowhere to be found. It was just me, isolated and alone. That's okay. Even so, I won't stop thinking. Okay then, what were the next commandments again? I'm sure Dlanor explained most of them when slamming me with them. Of course, even I recall them vaguely. What was the first one again?
謹んで申し上げる。ノックス第一条。犯人は物語当初の登場人物以外を禁ず。
Oh my god. Is Gertrude and Cornelia gonna help Battler? Oh my god. When I muttered about what the first one was, as if answering my question, Dlanor's subordinate appeared. Without boring with an unnecessary hello, she told me nothing more or less that I wanted to know.
そうだったな。第一条。犯人は物語の最初から登場している人物でなければならない。
In other words, the culprit must have already appeared. As early as the first game? True, that's the most basic of basics in the mystery genre. Classic assumption. A classic assumption? Have I really been keeping to that assumption? With each new game, the number of people in this tale keeps increasing. That violates the closed circle rule. By that point, everything else gets screwed up. Did I give up on on that? Did I give up on the inside, thinking that the true culprit or mastermind must not have shown up yet, and that reasoning was therefore useless? If I read these tales as fantasy, new characters keep showing up to the point where even having a demon kings or gods or creators appears wouldn't be strange at all. Even if the true mastermind first appears in one of the last episodes, I'd have to accept it. However, if I read it as mystery and stick with that conviction, then there's no really need to worry at all about anyone who shows up later, because Noxus First clearly states that it's impossible for the culprit to be anyone who appears later on in the story. Of course, there's also what both Dlanor and Virgilia said. There's no guarantee that this tale followed the rules of the Decalogue, so of course I can't deny the possibility that the culprit first appears on the second game or later. However, this is one way of thinking. This time, I'll forget about the devil's proof completely and try to borrow the power of the Decalogue in my thinking. After all, I've already said it myself that I won't be able to reach the truth without a multi-angled look.
何度も繰り返されたこのゲームの犯人は全て18人の中の誰かだってことになる。19人目の幻想なんて初めから必要ない。
Even the first of Noxus commandments denies the existence of an unknown person known as the witch from the very start. If I had followed that in the truest sense, I might have not suffered so miserably in the second game.
Nox の第2条は
謹んで申し上げたてまつる。ノックス第2条探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず。
Dlanor saw the subordinate appeared without a sound and gave me an answer to my question. That's right. A detective can't go around using magic.
そしてこれがフェアな戦いであるならば、探偵と同様に犯人もまた魔法を使ってはならないということだよな。
謹んで申し上げる。解釈は自由と知りたまえ。
だよな。ああ。俺の自由に解釈させてもらうぜ。
If this game is a battle between me and Beato, then because this tale is solvable, no elements will appear that make it impossible to solve. F-style. In other words, things like magic mustn't appear. When they do appear, I shouldn't suspect that the mystery element is breaking down, but I should instead question why it was shown and suspect the witnesses and observers. Oh my god, is he getting it? Finally! Oh my god. That's right, that was Beato's greatest weapon in the second game. The pictures of magic, which couldn't exist in a mystery. By showing me that, she forced me to think that this tale wasn't a mystery. And therefore, that reasoning was impossible, so I surrendered. However, if I have believed unshakably that it was a mystery, it would have been completely obvious to doubt the witnesses who claim to have seen magic. Also, at the end of the first game, it was revealed that this tale was passed on to people in the future by that message bottle. Someone had written about this crime, this tale. In other words, this entire tale is a world that includes the personal opinions of an observer, namely the person who wrote that message in a bottle. In other words, the observer isn't God, it's a human. Therefore, there's no guarantee that this description is truly impartial. Oh, message bottles, isn't it? By the end of the first game, it was already clear that we've broken the constant premise of the mystery genre. Now the story itself must be seen through the eyes of God. For that reason, it's possible to doubt even the observer as well as the witnesses. If I could have doubted this much, and no matter how many seemingly unsolvable displays of magic appeared, I wouldn't have had to blindly accept them and give up. However, that begs the question, is it even possible to solve a tale written by an observer who isn't impartial? If I get obsessed with this, all my reasoning will end here. However, I had to believe that Beato was trying to fight me through this tale. Because it's a fight, that means I've been given a chance of winning. By giving me that, doesn't that mean that reasoning is possible? This part is tough. Unless I believe that the cruel witch took on the risk of losing to try and have a fair fight with me, I can't get past this part. Just like Virgilia said, it's just like love. If I can't believe that Beato is fighting me head-on with everything she got, I won't be able to reason any further than this. Sure, I'll acknowledge it. Unless we acknowledge that we love each other, we won't be able to get any further. When Virgilia ran out of patience with the two of us, shy and incapable as we were acknowledging that out loud, she gave me that red truth instead. That was the red truth saying Beato wanted me to solve the riddles of this game, so she created them to be solvable. What the hell? It's just like Sato-san in Class A says he really likes you. Like hearing a love confession via a friend. I really am pitiful. Reasoning is love. If we don't love each other, then the reasoning won't start. In that case, how can we say that we love each other? If you think you can solve it, just you try. You're incompetent, like hell you can solve it. Yeah, according to George and Iki, people like that are called tsundora. That was brutal witch is finally starting to look a bit cute. If I meet her again, I want to try saying, you're such a tsundora. If I meet her again, somewhere.
他の実会も教えてくれ。純不動でいいぜ。使えそうなやつを頼む。
謹んで申し上げる。ノックス第8条。提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。
謹んで申し上げる。ノックス第6条。探偵方法に偶然と第6巻の使用を禁ず。
It must not be solved with the clues that aren't presented, and it must not be solved by relying on accident or coincidence. If this tale is made to be solvable, we can read this the opposite way. In other words, clues must be prepared so that the case can be solved, and it has to be made in a way that it can be solved without relying on coincidence. If I can believe that Beato is challenging me to a fair game where reasoning is possible, I can be sure of that. In other words, Beato had already left me clues, hints, and messages in this tale. It isn't from the Decalogue, Erika or someone said this. There are 3 riddles to be exposed in the mystery. One is the whodunit, who is the culprit. One is the howdunit, how they committed the crime. One is the whydunit, why did they commit the crime. All of this means that the clues related to these 3 riddles are already presented inside this tale. No, strictly speaking, it's like this, because she wanted me to solve these 3 riddles. Beato scattered hints about it, though whether I'm capable of catching those or not is another matter. Even if you think a riddle you proposed is easy, it might be difficult for the person trying to solve it. In that case, it's only natural there'll be a difference in how difficult each person finds it. Therefore, as Beato goes through each successive game, she watches me closely and tweaks the game as needed to get a good arrangement. When Beato realized that I completely surrendered in the second game because it was too hard, she secretly worried. If I surrendered and lost the will to fight, the game would no longer remain on an even footing. Therefore, in order to make me regain my will to fight, from the third game onwards, she set things up in a way that made it easier for me, giving me tips on how to fight and a few hints. Oh man. Virgilia and Ronove obviously appeared so that they could help me. Oh my god. This episode 5 is so good. Also, though we still had the usual crazy magic shows, she gave me the metaphor of the Brawn 2 trial, as well as the tips on how to fight back. I finally understood how to fight, most likely at the end of the 4th game. Beato managed to have the all-out showdown with me, as she had probably wanted. Then Beato acknowledged that my abilities had become fully fledged, and entrusted me with her heart, and trusted me with explaining this tale, didn't she? In that case, it was really dumb of me to boycott most of the 5th game, just because I was so disgusted with those 2 witches. It doesn't matter who the game master is, all I need is to search for the truth in Beato's game. On the contrary, I should probably thank those two witches, just a little, for continuing the game in Beato's place now that she's gone and left everything to me. Of course, I doubt those two evil witches were trying to do anything of the sort. Culprit, crime, motive. I think I still. The answers to those three ultimate riddles, the hints, must be scattered throughout the previous shown tales, started with a very faint light, like trying to find beads that had fallen onto the sandy beach. They're definitely there. However, they're so faint that unless I believe strongly, there's no way I'll be able to find them.
近景慎んで申し上げる。
なんだ。
物語を遡りたまえ。
Oh my god.
今の汝には真実のか弱き光を見逃さぬ目が与えられていると知れ。
今こそ物語を。
推理可能とは信頼関係の先にあるものと知りたてまつれ。
ああ、知ってるぜ。いや、今ようやく気づいたかもしれない。
It's something that had been repeated over and over again throughout the tale, persistently so.
愛がなければ真実は見えない。
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so good. Oh, what a reveal. Slowly, the tea room dissolved into darkness. Then, as though I was slowly sinking to a pitch black sea, I passed through the crevice of the long journey I'd taken with Beato, and kept on falling and falling. It was a bizarre experience, like crossing over the boundary of sleep while still conscious. Oh my god. The several tales before became faint bubbles. No, they were small shining fragments, and were scattered like stars amidst a pitch black sky. I kept sinking on and on into that sea. Bern Castel. The tales up until now, one after another, Virgilius guided Dante to the Mount Purgatory and brought him to the feet of the Eternal Lady who waited at the top, Beatrice. Therefore, the innermost depths lay not at the bottom, at the peak of Mount Purgatory. The Eternal Lady had been waiting there for Dante the whole time. And then I knew. Oh my god. Oh my god, Battler. Oh my god. Did you finally... I finally reached the truth. To the depths of... No. To the peak of Mount Purgatory. Promise. Idiot. You really are an idiot. Oh my god, the music. He woke up from the sleep of death, and bit by bit, his sense of pain came back to him. On Battler's face, which still looked up at the heavens as he hung there, pierced by the long sword, a suffering and alive expression gradually returned. Who are you talking to, man? Battler noticed. You are Beatrice. This whole time, Beato had been snuggling up against him, sleeping, and when he held her, he knew it was not Beato, but her crumbling remains. Oh my god. This game. So when Battler just tried to hold that form, as fragile as ash, then, just like a sandcastle made on a beach, washed away by a small wave, it fell apart and lost its form, as Battler's feet lay nothing but the ragged remains of Beato's dress and a pile of ash. No, on top of that pile of ash, you could see something sparkling gold. It was the husk of a single gold butterfly, which had been torn to bits. And so Battler knew, I've definitely reached the truth. However, I wasn't able to do it, while Beato still remained in this world. Beato.
ベアト、お前本当にバカだろ。
I finally...
俺はようやくこのふざけた謎の真相にたどり着いたんだぞ。お前のお望み通りに。
Oh my god.
くじけずにとうとう最後までたどり着いたのに。なのにそれを待てずにくじけちまったんだよ。お前はあんなにも信じてたんだろう。俺が絶対に真実に至ってくれるってなら、どうしてそれを俺と一緒に信じて待てなかったんだよ。永遠の拷問を強いていたのはお前じゃない、俺だ。俺がお前に過酷な拷問を強いた。そしてお前は最後まで抗い俺に訴え続け、そして俺はようやく今になってたどり着いたってのに、お前はもう待ってなくて手遅れになっちまったって。バカ野郎、どうしてお前が先にくじけちまうんだよ。
It's my fault. I forced her to endure this torture. In fact, she's been doing a wonderful job sticking through it for so long. Over and over and over again, you kept on protesting to me. And because I was so incompetent, it was as though I couldn't understand the truth.
バカ野郎！バカ野郎！お前の謎はさ、ひねりすぎなんだよ。どうしてもっと簡単に言えねえんだよ。バカ野郎
My god. His screams of pain filled the sad cathedral. The sad witch who wasn't able to communicate the truth to Battler. The sad man who wasn't able to understand the witch's truth. Battler's howl of anger and sadness rang out for that pair. The clock hung in the cathedral showed that it was midnight on October 5th, 1986. Time was up for everything. You're kidding me. And set something like a time limit on this difficult riddle you're so proud of.
いや、わかるぜ。それほどのわずかな奇跡の中にお前は祈ったんだよな。お前もじいさまと同じだったんだ。
You prayed for it and bet on the power of a miracle, one so unlikely that it was totally impossible, less likely than finding a bead you dropped on a sandy beach. And that means I've now truly arrived at that miracle. However, your time didn't last long enough. If I had reached this point even a little sooner, if I could have seen the truth, even if it had been right before the time was up, I might have been able to save you. But right now, I've been run through pathetically. I can't even hold what remains of you. As I attempted to pull the long sword out, I tried stretching out my arms and kicking my feet, struggling to at least touch her remains, but nothing worked. At that time, I noticed a golden glint on the palm of my hand. It was a single wing from a gold butterfly. That small fragment of gold was the only piece of Beato that was permitted to touch. I cried with all my strength, gripped that fragment, and pressed it against my head, apologizing. Why couldn't I reach the truth earlier? Then I pressed it to my chest, promising that even now I would never again lose the truth. When I pressed my hand against my chest, the sword piercing my chest cut my wrists, and blood dribbled out. That blood spread throughout my fist. It must have soaked that gold fragment with my red blood. It must have been the only way of telling her that I found the truth she wanted me to know about. I clutched the wing of the gold butterfly with my freshly bleeding hands and pressed it against the red sword that pierced me. At this point, Shermia Battler knows, and he understands. He's found this tales everything. At that time, it seemed as though a faint golden light leaked out of the gaps in his clenched fists. The two witches had their backs turned, and Erika was laughing at Battler's corpse.
本当に無様ですね、バトラさん。あなたの愚かさを石像にして永遠に。
Justice. At the time, Battler's chest, no, the red longsword that pierced Battler began to sparkle gold from deep within his chest. That bright golden light began to change the red sword's color, turning it to gold.
何事？バトラがこれは何？
Battler coughed up blood and groans. His consciousness came back. His will to live, his will to fight came back. That red longsword that pierced Battler could no longer be described as such. By now it has become a golden longsword. Then, slowly, gradually, it pulled itself out of Battler's chest. It finally pulled itself free and started dancing through the air, then stood up in front of Battler's eyes, as though it knew who its master was. Battler, crawling on the floor, moaning, grabbed the golden long sword. Though it looked painful, he slowly rose to his feet once again. Oh my god!
手の込んだ演出ね、これ。ラムダの隠し玉？
その輝きってまさか。
Lambda stared wide-eyed at the bright golden glow in awe. When she noticed that Battler's resurrection wasn't part of a script Lambda had thought up, Bern also frowned slightly.
悪いわね。最新は却下よ。シエスタ姉妹。その復活幻想を削除しなさい。了解であります。45、410、発砲許可。
それが照準不能 IFF エラーコード999ヒュー
39だ。バカな。
The Chester sisters hesitated, unable to carry out Bern Castell's orders.
ラムダ、これはどういう茶番よ。完全に魔女幻想は打ち破られて、法廷は私の勝利に終わったはずよ。
悪いわねベルン。もう少し付き合ってもらうわ。そうでしょ、後ろ宮バトラ。
ああ、待たせたな。エリカ、ベルン・カステル。今度は俺の真実の番だぜ。
再審請求を受理するわ。魔女集会の幻想法廷の閉廷は撤回される。
Oh my god, yes!
異議提出。すでに裁判は決審し、 判決は公示されている。
Oh, Berka still notices it. Oh, yes.
異議却下。いかなる判決も新たな真実の前にはかすむ。
異議提出。バトラはプレイヤーを追放されただけでなく魔女の地位を持たない、上告する資格を持たない。
異議却下。もうね、あるのよ、絶対の魔女ラムダデルタの名において認めるわ。後宮バトラ、あなたを新たな黄金
Oh
の魔
my
女、
god.
いえ無限の魔術師後宮バトラと認める
Oh
わ。
my god. Oh my god.
なんですって。バトラが魔女の位を。
The rank of a witch, which she had desired for so long, had been granted to battlers so quickly. And on top of all that, this wasn't anything temporary. This was an official, proper authorization by Lambdadelta. Erika couldn't accept it, and her face turned bright red.
最後の最後まで楽しませてくれるわ。あの子のゲームはいいわ、付き合ってあげる。エリカ、受けて立ちなさい。あなたが私と築き上げた赤き真実は完璧よ。夏日が犯人であるとする真実の構築は完璧だわ。絶対にバトラには崩せない。
無論です、我が主。何の心配もありません。それよりシエスタ姉妹、我が主は射殺を命じていますよ。いつになったら命令は実行されるんですか？
エラーコード39。領主照準には解除コードが必要です。
Oh my god.
だからあいつはやると言ったに。
領主？誰が？このかけらの支配者は誰？
It's
私
not
です。
you. It's not you. Get fucked.
領主、まさかバトラが。
It's
は
not
い。
you.
後宮バトラはこのかけらの正当な領主と認定されているであります。
ええ、そうよ。まだわからないの？あの黄金の輝きの意味が。バトラはね、至ったのよ。全ての真実の最新王にね。
Oh my
だ
god.
からバトラは今やこの世界の
Why
物
is
語の
Lambdadelta
ゲー
being
ム
the
の全
hype
てを理
man?
解している。
Why is Lambdadelta being the hype man right now?
それはつま
It
り
doesn't make sense.
ゲームの支配者の地位を得たということよ。
I guess it's because Beato was her child, I guess? I don't know.
それを
She
信
was
じ
her
たくないでしょ、ベルン。
Oh, I see.
信じたくもない。
Oh my god, that face is so good.
バトラが本当に全てを理解したのか試してあげるわ。エリカ、
残念ね、エリカ。せっかくこのかけらの領主に任命されたところだけれど、このかけらの新しい領主は後宮バトラよ。悔しいねえねえ、悔しい。せっかく領主になれたのにいきなり剥奪ってどんな
Oh my
気持ち？
god.
どんな気持ち？
Oh my god, Lambdadelta, what the fuck?
私の推理を否定できるものならしてみればいいでしょう。そんなことは不可
Oh
能。
my god, her voice.
不可不可不可不可不可不可不可不可私の構築した推理に隙はありません。ナズヒが犯人であることは否定不能。
俺は夏日おばさん以外が犯人である推理を構築できる。確かにお前の真実は否定不能かもしれない。ならば同時にお前の真実は俺の新しい真実も否定できない。
Ooh, Battler spoke with red truth that allowed him by his status as a sorcerer.
ナツヒ以外が犯人で ール、バトラさんの妄言に付き合ってあげてください。
Slowly, Dlanor stepped forwards. In her hand was the red longsword of the Decalogue. She also had a blue short sword. In Battler's hand was a golden longsword. The two rivals once again, no, for the first time, they truly confronted each other.
バトラー、待っていました。
Oh my god! This is so good!
いいえ、あなたの帰りは私の予想より早かったです。
殺しなさい、ドラノール A のオックス。
Dlanor's form disappeared in an instant, as though her slow, dignified movements from before were only a lie. Oh my god. The curve drawn by the longsword of Red Truth burned itself into the retinas of those who saw it. Before anyone had enough time to follow that curve, it was already approaching Battler's chest.
エリカ教の推理により第5のゲームは解決しました。この推理による真実を覆す新事実は存在しません。
Oh my god! So good!
他の解釈で異なる真実の提示が可能だ。異なる真実の並列により両者の真贋を問う。
In this closed-off world, it's possible for different truths to exist at the same time. Furthermore, as long as multiple truths exist, it's impossible to claim that any of the truths are the single truth. In other words, even if I can't overturn Erika's reasoning by questioning its credibility and conquering it, I can defeat it.
ベルンの推理は完璧よ。簡単には覆せない。でもね、ベルンの推理と互角の推理を提示できたなら戦いは氷結となる。すなわちいずれかの真実は打ち破られて否定されることがあり得る。
笑わせる脚本だわ。悪魔の脚本はやはりこうでなくっちゃ。
では問いましょう。夏日以外の誰が犯人という仮説ですか？
Battler's golden longsword drew both red and blue curves at will.
夏日おばさんの告白した19年前の赤ん坊による復讐で構築可能だ。
ノックス第1条、犯人は物語当初の登場人物以外は禁ず。第5のゲームより登場した人物に犯人は名乗れません。
その19年前の赤ん坊は最初から俺たちの中にいるとしたら、例えばそれが俺だとしたら。
Oh my god.
ノックス第8条、
Oh, she's smiling.
提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。あなたが19年前の赤ん坊であることを示す伏線はあったのですか？
Yes, the call. Oh my god.
第4のゲームにおける俺が母親アスムの息子でないとする赤き真実。
Yes.
第1のゲームおよび今回のゲームにおける親父の隠し事の気配。特に今回のゲームでは俺の生まれに何か事情があることをはっきり明示している。
Battlers proposed that he might be the baby from 19 years ago and announced that he would reconstruct the crime with himself as the culprit. As Dlanor cautiously held her sword at the ready, she gauged the distance between them. Now that Battler had inherited the position of this world's territory lord and attained the rank of endless sorcerer, his movements surpassed human understanding. By now, the physical distance between them probably counted for nothing. After all, their extremely agile battles was surpassing the point where the concept of distance made any difference. Oh my god, they're faster than light.
まずは見事です。
Battler is faster than light right
バ
now.
トラー犯人説、お聞かせ願いましょう。
He's too strong.
ああ、聞かせてやる。
But can he beat Goku though?
そ
Oh
れ
my
でも
god, I'm
説明
sorry.
がつくこと。夏日おばさんが犯人だと決めつけることはできないこと。
That was sarcastic, I'm sorry. Oh man.
ぐっとあなたが犯人というならいくつもの矛盾が生じます。その矛盾があなたのか弱い真実を刈り取る。この私探偵にして真実の魔女フルド・エリカが
This time, Erika stepped forward. Oh my god! In her hand, there appeared a scythe like one a grim reaper might hold. A ruthless scythe for reaping everything that threatened her theory. Oh my god.
犯行時刻は24時からの1時間しかありえない。あなたはその1時間の間屋敷の食堂にいます。よって犯行は不可能です。
Oh my god. Oh my god.
死亡時刻が24時からの1時間の間と特定はされていない。よって犯行は24時から午前1時までの間でなくとも可能だ。
Oh my god. Oh my god, what is happening? This is so good.
いとこ部屋の殺人に限定します。午前1時から事件発覚までいとこ部屋での犯行は不可能です。ドラノール、今です。
第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。いとこ部屋で実際に犯行が行われたなら手がかりが提示されなくてはなりません。それが朝まで室内の異常を監視していた探偵であるエリカ卿に与えられなかった以上犯行は不可能です。
事件発覚とは俺が悲鳴を上げて全員が集まった段階のことだ。そこまでに殺すことが不可能であってそれ以降に殺すことが可能だ。
Oh my god. Battler used a blue flash to detect both the red truths that Erika and Dlanor had flung at him. I was thinking about this earlier, about Battler being the culprit, but still, I didn't know about the time of the discovery, so that red truth actually killed me. So, I don't know. Erika's eyes went wide. After all, what he had said was completely absurd. At that time, they still hadn't been killed? Even though the corpses with their necks sliced open were laying right there?
いとこ部屋の4人の死亡は赤き真実で宣告されている。魔女伝送のつもり？あの時点で死んでいた女王子たちを魔法概念で蘇らせたつもり？
なるほど。あの時点で死んでたと信じるお前にとっちゃ死者が蘇らされるみたいに見えるだろうな。ならこれはお前にとって魔法になるだろうぜ。ならばお前に一矢報いるのは俺じゃない。
小ざて何度でも繰り返します。いとこ部屋の4人の死亡は赤き真実で宣告されている。そしてその遺体は大勢が確認しています。そして全ての死体は検視を誤らないとすでに赤き真実で宣言済みです。これでも食らいやがれ死者どもめ。
Oh my god. Oh! Oh!
その赤き真実が何時の時
Oh my
点でのもの
god!
か。
Ronove is here! Oh my
お
god!
忘れですか、お嬢さん。
The fierce shower of red was blocked by a magical barrier set up by Ronove, who suddenly appeared right in front of Battler. Now that Beato was gone, the demons shouldn't have been able to manifest themselves in the real world. However, he existed here, and calmly dealt with Erika's attack. Oh my god!
貴様ロノウェどうやってここに？まあいいです。好都合です。探す手間が省けました。この場で捕らえてあんたも存在否定してあげます。
譲るぜ。一つの傲慢なる真実で全てを支配などできないことを教えてやれ。
Oh my god!
Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh my god!
では少しお相手しましょ
I'm dying from hype.
う。どうぞ。 お嬢さん。
I'm dying from
なら
hype.
あの赤き真実の死亡宣告は何時の時点でのものだというのですか。それがあんたには特定できるって言うんですか。特定できない以上事件発覚の時点での死亡宣告であることを否定はできません。
Ooh.
この法廷が改定した時、ラムダデルタ教は宣言しておりますよ。24時を迎えての答え合わせだ。死亡宣告は2日目24時、
Yeah.
すなわちゲーム終了時点のものです。
That's a red truth that I was already used to as a wordplay before,
そ
so
してそれは事件発覚後と呼ばれる2日目朝以降の殺人を否定するものではありません。
oh my god.
ではあの時点で犠牲者は生きていたと首がばっくりと裂かれているのに。
Oh my god.
それを探偵殿はご覧になられましたか。確かに全ての死体は誰であっても検視を誤ることはないとなっておりますが、死体でないものを死体と言っていけないとは言われておりませんもの。
Oh my god. Erika swung her sai recklessly, but Ronove blocked everything with elegant gestures that made with the shield on one of his hands. Oh my god, the music is so good.
じゃああの時点では誰も死んでない。まさか首に傷さえない。だってじゃあどうしてマトラは悲鳴を上げたんです。
足元がお留守だわ、お嬢ちゃん。
Ooh.
すべてのゲーム開始時に後ろ宮金蔵は死んでいる。
Oh my god. A pitch black hole opened beneath Erika's feet and swallowed her up. Oh my god, Gama and Ronove. She could probably see through the other side of the hole. It was the same thing you'd see if you looked down out of the skylight on the ceiling of this cathedral.
リア。
ええ、
Ooh, Virgilia could already be seen in the midair inside of the cathedral. Oh my god. What was written there? As Erika fell from the heavens, Virgilia was right below her and caught her on the end of a divine spear that sparkled blue.
あなたの推理も顧みるべきではありませんか。金蔵は存在しません。よってあなたの推理の遺体消失が破綻します。
道理です。金蔵以外の人物が遺体を消失させねば破綻します。
この程度で。
Oh my god. Virgilia's blue divine spear skewered and pinned Erika in midair. Erika struggled, filled with hatred, but she couldn't get it out so easily. Then, all around her, several small fast things clanked off the walls and enveloped her. Oh my god. Then 7 people manifested themselves at once.
我らは煉獄の七姉妹、主の仇、思い知れ。
この文鎮風情が。ジョージは死後遺体は一切移動されていない。
Oh my god. Oh shit.
ジェシカは死後遺体は一切移動されていない。
Oh my god.
マリアは死後遺体は一切移動されていない。ローザは死後遺体は一切移動されていない。ゲンジは死後遺体は一切移動されていない。クラウスは死後遺体は一切移動されていない。
Oh my god.
よって遺体発見後に遺体が消失することはありえない。貴様の推理、遺体は金蔵が運び出したは破綻する。
Oh man.
だからなんだってんですか。金像以外でだって死体の消失は説明的。私が推理の修正を。この私が探偵が。
Even with Kinzo's existence denied, Erika was probably capable of escaping this by making it only a small revision to her theory. However, to her, having to revise a theory she'd already created was extremely humiliating.
夏日を追い詰めるためだけに策を浪しすぎたわね。
推理を遊びすぎました。金像の死を赤き真実で語れるのは今やあなたの主だけではありませんよ。
これが魔女の闇を遊んだ報いです。それを知りなさい、フルド・エリカ。
Of course, even Erika had doubted Kinzo's existence from the beginning. However, it had previously been impossible for anyone to deny his existence in that trial, except for Bern and Lambdadelta, who had sided with each other. And because of the willful silence of those two, the truth about Kinzo had truly been unfixed. And yet, to think that Battler had become a witch, a sorcerer, and capable of using red without proof. However, she had her own Inquisitor of Heresy, who could also use red without proof to counter.
ノックス第2条、探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず、金像の死を赤き真実で示すならば、それを構築する人間の真実、証拠の提示を求めます。
許せ、クソじじい。
越えゆけバトラー、我がしかもあんねえ。
Ooh.
証拠提示、後ろ宮金像と識別可能な遺体を提示する。
Ooh.
その遺体が後ろ宮金像であると証明することはできますか？どれほど金像に酷似した遺体であろうとも当人であることを証明できない限り、第三者の身代わり死体であるとの主張が可能です。それが金像の遺体であることを人間の真実で示せますか？本件のみ、赤き真実のみでの反論を無効とします。
Oh my god.
へえ、赤き真実での反論を無効？そんな思考もあるのね。
確かに第三者の死体が存在しないことはすでに赤で語られてる。しかしそれを赤で語ることを禁じられたらバトラのやつお手上げじゃない。
そうだな、この閉ざされた六軒島ではこの死体がじい様のものだと示せる客観的な方法はない。
それこそはこの遺体が替え玉死体である可能性の示唆です。この身元不明遺体が金像の死を証明するものにはなり得ません。
チェックメイト。我が推理は揺るぎません。
Dlanor has sealed off the red truth as a means of proving that Kinzo's corpse had been shown. Even with the power of witches, Battler couldn't argue back.
赤き真実を封じられてどうやってその死体を金像だと証明するの？無理よ、不可能だわ。
赤と青ならね。
Ooh, with white text? Oh, he's gonna... Oh!
この死体が後ろ宮金像の死体であると保証する。
Oh my god. It's when Dlanor met with Battler's golden flash, she was unable to fully block it with either her red longsword or her blue shortsword, and she was blown back into empty space. It was a direct hit without any miscalculation. But she had always seemed as firm as a small giant before. She was now finally blasted away and slammed against the wall as though she was a slender girl she appeared to be.
ドラノール、あんた何やって。
見事な黄金の真実。
Gold. Oh my god. I was... It's gold.
黄金の真実。
Oh my god, a third one. The golden longsword, which had been drawing red and blue trails before, finally drew a curve that remained its divine color, golden color. The truth it showed was neither red nor blue, it was a gold truth.
何それ、ラムダ、こんなのはルールにあるの？
ええ、黄金の真実有効よ。黄金の真実はこの世界の領主、いえゲームマスターにしか使えない。
なんですって。
黄金の真実、赤き真実とは異なる方法によって紡がれる神なる真実。その力は赤き真実と同等です。時に劣るでしょう。しかし時に勝る。
Oh my god.
その輝きこそがバトラ君が本当にベアトを理解した証。
Oh man.
示したぜ、この死体がじい様であることを。
I'm literally hyperventilating from hype. Oh my god.
黄金の真実受理しました。エリカ教の推理は修正に応じぬ限り破綻します。
そんな。
How did Battler kill Hideyoshi though? How do you explain that? Erika cried out in pain. It wasn't the pain of her body being pierced, it was the pain of her own theory being defiled. I guess you could say that Battler later killed. I don't know how to explain Hideyoshi
なるほ
actually.
ど。叙実トリックの寄せ集めかと思ったら、これはいつの間にか。
バトラー、それ以上語るは野暮に過ぎるわ。あんたの遺体消失の真実、もはやこれ以上語らずとも完全に理解させてもらったわ。なるほどね。あんたの考えてるそれはこれまでの法廷の全ての赤に矛盾しない19年前の男の復讐を軸にしたあんたの真実、その全て理解し受理したわ。あんたの真実の成立を宣言する。
そんな。どうしてですか、大ラムダデルタ卿。あいつはまだ全てを説明しきっていません。
You couldn't.
秀吉の密室や夏日の自室の封印やクローゼットのボタンや
あんたまだバトラーに反応できる気でいるの？
Oh my god. Only Erika, the one who's supposedly so intelligent, couldn't understand. She couldn't understand that Battler had already reached the real truth.
以上によりじい様の不在は証明され、夏日おばさんのじい様をめぐる不名誉は返上される。夏日おばさんは純潔にして停粛だ。貴様ら好みの下劣な物語は許さない。
バトラ君。
さらにこれまでの死者全員の死亡時間に疑義が生じる以上、夏日おばさん以外全員のアリバイは白紙に戻る。もはや夏日おばさん以外に犯行が不可能であるとの論法は通用しない。
Dlanor, who must have risen to her knees at some point, slowly stood up. The flash from the golden longsword was still buried deep into her chest, though pain didn't show in her expression. Her awkward movements clearly showed how serious the damage she had taken was. Even though she herself knew that the match was long over by now, Dlanor didn't abandon her duty.
され 再度あなたはいとこ部屋にて5人不可能な遺体を確認されております。それが虚偽であったとおっしゃるのですか？ノックス第7条、探偵が犯人であることを禁ず。
The detective is Erika,
探
not
偵は客
Battler.
観的視点も義務付けられています。あなたの推理はこの義務に違反です。
探偵はフルドエリカだぜ。今回の俺は探偵じゃない。そしてノックス第9条、観測者は自分の判断解釈を主張することが許される。
Oh my god. Yep. Game over.
ノックス第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。これまでのあなたは探偵でした。そのあなたが今回は探偵でなく主権を交える観測者であったことは示されていたのですか？
Bern Castell's red truth.
それがない限りあなたには主観を偽る権利はありません。
俺は今回のゲームで碑文の謎の仕掛けを解いた時、じい様を目撃している。
Oh.
すでに赤で示されている通り、
Yeah, that as
じい
well.
様は存在しない。その目撃は不可能だ。よって俺の視点に客観性がないことはすでに示されている。
それは風雨になびくシートか何かをあなたが誤認しただけの可能性があります。ノックス第9条を示す伏線とはなり得ません。誤認は全ての観測者に許された権利です。
第4のゲームにてベアトが示した赤き真実、全ての人物は後宮金蔵を見間違わない。
It's the red truth that Beato used to counter my blue truth claim that someone disguised themselves as Kinzo to make it seem as though grandfather had appeared. In other words, on this island, anything which might lead someone to visually mistake something for grandfather, including someone else pretending to be grandfather, cannot ever work. All of Nazi schemes to make it seem grandfather exists were hidden in the relatives' blind spots. All of them clever tricks like he was just here a second ago, or he's in his study alone now. They never tried to make anyone mistake something they saw for grandfather himself, but there are no contradictions. They had tried to dress one of the servants in grandfather's robe. It probably would have been seen through in an instant. It had been guaranteed that none of the characters in this tale would mistake something for grandfather by sight. Someone claims to have seen grandfather, despite that, it becomes a lie. Allowing lies to be contained within their observations is a right granted to everyone, except for just one person. That person is the detective.
風雨になびくシートを見間違え、それを何であったと誤認して語るのだ。ノックス第9条の権利だ。しかしじい様だと誤認することだけは赤き真実において本ゲームでは許されていない。
金蔵を見たと主張された時点で誤認識ではなく意図的、すなわち観測の客観性が否定されていることの証というわけですか。
In that case, unintentional misrecommendation is not permitted by the rules of this game. However, it is possible to intentionally lie about seeing something you never saw. And that is an action not permitted to a detective, who is obligated to remain an impartial perspective.
暴論を許せ。これで決着だぜ。
いいえ、いいのです。
Oh my
あなたの
god.
ような男が世界にいてくれたなら、どのような傲慢からもか弱き真実を守ってくれたに違いない。もっともらしい一つの真実がか弱き真実たちを駆逐し、唯一の真実であると語る横暴から本当の真実を守ってくれたに違いない。
Battler's golden long sword drew a massive blue arc as though splitting the heavens.
あなたと戦えてよかったです。
よって
Please don't die, Dlanor. Don't die, Dlanor.
今回のゲームにおける俺の観測は第7条でなく第9条に基づくじい様を見たと主張したことがその証だ。
The noise that rang out across the cathedral was the sound of Dlanor's long sword clattering on the floor. Simply letting go of that was the same as resigning to the proud Dlanor. Though the blue trail Battler had drawn was aiming right for the top of Dlanor's head, it stopped a hair breadth away. Oh, thank God. If it hadn't, Dlanor would have probably been annihilated without leaving a single scrap of flesh behind.
リザインです。 あなたの真実の否定を断念します。
借りは返した。お前の親父に敬意を。実戒は傲慢でも批判でもなかった。
父に敬意を。
Ooh, Dlanor sat down on the floor and completely abandoned her will to fight.
何やってるんですか、ドラノール。情けない、みっともない、マヌケな薄のろ殺人人形。あんたは自分の父の名誉に泥を塗ったわ、恥知らず。それでもミステリーのくさび、魔法に屈するの。そんなのミステリーの歴史が許さない。
お前こそ何もミステリーを分かってないな。ミステリーが相手を知的に見下すための狂気にしか見えてないなら、お前に俺は二度とそれを語らせない。
バートラ
お前に相反する真実を宣言する。夏日おばさんは19年前の男、すなわち俺によって、その目的は夏日おばさんを殺人犯に仕立て上げること。これは初めから夏日おばさんに濡れ衣を着せるための復讐劇だ。
違います。夏日が仕組んだ後ろ宮邸の復讐劇です。あなたの推理は私と真っ向から相反します。
お前のその青い槍、まだ抜けないのか。
そうね。エリカからはまだ金蔵以外の理由での遺体消失を聞いていないわ。あんたの推理は現在否定中だけれど、
こんな槍など。文人どもめ、邪魔な。
The deeply piercing blue spear and the 7 red stakes tormenting her theory. They won't come out. They won't come out.
修正とエリカの推理の誤りを認めるわ。
そんな我が主。
Watching Erika's face contort with pain as she struggled to escape from the spear, Bernkastel spoke this with a disgusted expression. Faced with the facts, Bernkastel had acknowledged Erika's loss herself. Erika gazed at her master, who was no longer confident in Erika's own victory, with a mixture of shock and despair.
あんたのプライドなんて知ったことじゃないわ。いつまでその無様な姿を晒す気なの。私と同じ青い髪を許された分身がいつまでそこで貼り付けになっているつもり？
My double, who has been granted the same blue hair as me.
私自らがやはり降臨しなきゃダメなのかしら。やはり駒なんていらないわ。ああ、めんどくさいめんどくさい七めんどくさい。駒なんていらないわ。捨ててしまおう。ああ、残念無念失望絶望期待外れの的外れ。早くしなさいよ、クズが。
Oh my god, that face. Oh.
お前のそのみっともない推理を修正しろって言ってんでしょ。
はい、我が主、修正いたします。
As Erika's face twisted in humiliation and tears streamed down from her eyes, she withdrew and revised her own theory in accordance with her master's orders. Mumbling quietly, she made various revisions with the blue truth, had them acknowledged by Lambdadelta, and finally had the blue spear smashed and was freed. While that blue truth did indeed explain how the corpses had disappeared, it couldn't conceal its desperation and was a bit of truly shabby reasoning.
我が主、抜けました。我が推理は完璧です。
どこが？無様この上ないわ。でも許してあげる。あんたのその顔と推理がとっても情けなくて笑えるから。
In one moment you're saying that she's your daughter, the next moment you want to kill her. What the fuck is wrong with you, Bern? Erika was taunted by her master, who wore an ugly expression. I'm not blaming Erika here. Erika is just like... Bernkastel is the problem here. She thrashed about on the floor, crying bitter tears. The wounded Dlanor stepped out before her, as though shielding her, as she spoke to Bern Castell, as well as Battler. As Battler. Oh my god.
修正されたエリカ教の真実は有効です。
ああ、そうだ。俺の真実に関係なく、お前の真実も同時に存在する。それがこの世界だ。誰にも否定できないから。いくつでも、どんなに相互が矛盾しても、それらの真実は同時に存在できる。ここでは想像の数だけ真実があっていいんだ。それを誰も一方的に否定してはならない。
はい、そうです。エリカ教の真実は私が誰にも否定させません。
ドラノール。
You just insulted her before and now she's
このドラ
protecting
ノ
you.
ールある限り、その真実をお守りいたします。どんなにみすぼらしくとも、私はその真実を嘲笑いはしません。
Erika, please don't ever again insult or try to bully Dlanor again, please. She's been at your side. The words of Dlanor, whom Erika had previously looked down upon, led Erika to once again thrash about on the floor, sobbing.
そして唯一の真実が存在しない限り、全ては闇の底だ。すなわち俺の推理もエリカの推理も否定不能であると同時に否定できないが絶対でもないあやふやなものだ。確定しない以上、魔女幻想はまだ存在してる。それを暴くことが許されてるのはエリカでなければ貴様らでもない、この俺だけだ。俺以外にベアトリーチェの魔女幻想は暴かせない。
判決を変更。後宮バトラの示した真実によりエリカの真実の唯一性は失われた。しかしエリカの真実は否定不能。よって2人の真実は並び立つ。第5のゲームの決着を撤回。ゲームはイーブンに戻るわ。そしてゲームマスターは私から黄金の魔術師後宮バトラに移る。後宮バトラ前へ。
So that's why. Oh my god.
あんたを新しいゲームマスターに任命するわ。
The game
承諾
master.
するわよね。しなさい、新しい無限の魔女。
ああ、俺が新しいゲームマスターだ。第6のゲームは
Oh my
俺が
god.
紡ぐ。
A game from Battler. Oh my god.
エリカ、今度こそ俺と決着をつけようじゃねえか。立て。
Oh man.
立ちますとも、この屈辱。話す機会を与えたことを後悔させましょう。我が主、第6のゲームにてもう一度バトラと戦う機会をお与えください。
Oh please, Erika needs to be. Erika needs. Erika is one of my favorite characters now.
もちろんよ。
Dlanor as
チャ
well.
ンスをあげる。
あら、すごいわね。あなたがチャンスをあげるなんて。これって奇跡じゃないの？奇跡の魔女ベルンカステル。
Oh my god, the sarcasm
エリカ、
is killing me.
奇跡的にあなたは命拾いしたわ。第6のゲーム、バトラのゲーム、何としても暴きなさい。忘却の闇に捨てられたくなければね。
Oh.
はい、我が主、ドラノール。
無論次なるゲームにても全力を尽くします。
もう客人のふりはしません。私とドラノールであなたのゲームを引き裂いてみせます。
Oh.
ああ、招待してやるぜ。俺の第6のゲームにな。悪いがタイトルはお前のつけたチェックメイト・オブ・ザではなくなるぜ。
あなたのゲームです。 あなたが名付けるといいでしょう。
It would be good if he went with Erika's title just to rub it in the salt in the wounds.
その挑戦望むところです。私はフルドエリカ、魔女である以前に探偵。
I'm detective before I'm a witch.
あなたがこのゲームの新たな支配者であることを認め、そして宣戦布告します。絶対に暴いてやる。殺してやる。黄金の魔術師後宮バトラー。
Oh my god, they're now in inverse positions. This is so good. So basically, oh my god, Erika is now the...
ああ、存分にかかってこい、フルドエリカ。
Oh my god. Just watch, Beato. I'll take charge of your game. And in the next game, I'll prove that I'm completely understand all your riddles. Ooh. Wings version Hope. Ooh. The music. Oh my god, episode 5. Oh, it's changed. Let's go to the characters. Episode 5, man. Okay, let's start with Nazi. I think that she is on top of S rank right now because she was so good. I've been wanting a lot more screen time with her this game since episode 1, and I never got screen time with her, so this one was like a very big chunk with her, and I'm very happy. Erika is, I think, tied with Maria for how good she actually is as like a foil to Battler. And yeah, she's just so good. I don't know what to say, actually. That let me see. Dlanor, she I think that she's also on S rank plus just because of how good she is as a rival to Battler as well. So basically it's like a duo between Erika and Dlanor against Battler, I think. And it's been very, very entertaining to watch all the way through. Somebody told me to resurrect her. Okay, she's resurrected. A quiet girl who's always been teased by everyone. That's because they all love her very much. The trumpet is her specialty. Everyone skips to her lively tone. Oh my god. They wanted to kill the bunny sisters. I don't like it. Okay, now Cornelia and Gertrude, they had a special moment in my heart when they aided Battler in resurrecting and finding out the truth. So bonus points for that. They are currently in the bottom of A rank, but I can see both of them rising up even more. They're very stern and very professional, but still, their faces are just so good. I don't know. Dlanor and Enox is still, oh my god. It's been great. Ronove, oh my god, Ronove came in like a badass. Ronove, Virgilia, and Gop came in to confront Erika, and that was very, very entertaining as well. I don't know. They're in S rank right now, I think. No, wait, I don't know where I put them yet, but still, they're on top of A rank or at the bottom of S rank, and they've been very good. I wonder if they're going to stick around with Battler being the new game master. I think he will. I think he... Can I execute Battler? No, I cannot. Let's see. Execute Battler. Nope. So, went missing from his room. He's the only victim of his first twilight whose body is never witnessed. So, yeah. Guess he was confirmed dead by them. Yeah. I cannot kill Battler. Why? He died. He died this episode, didn't he? Oh, I'm sorry. So I guess this is it. Battler, though. Finally, I need to discuss Battler for a moment. Finally, I think he's tied with Angie as my favorite character of this whole thing. I guess. It's hard because the top three are so close and so hard to decide between them. It's Angie, Beatrice, and Battler, the top three characters. It's been like this. Still, Battler really rose up this episode so much. I think I could put him, dare say, above Beatrice for now. I guess so, because Beatrice has been mostly a doll this time, and that was the peace Beatrice, but I guess that wasn't the real thing, I guess, but I don't know. Guess that Beatrice was only controlled by Lambdadelta to lose, maybe, I don't know. I need to talk about Lambdadelta and Bir Castel now. Lambdadelta, I think she's the game master. She was Beatrice's guardian, so I guess she must have some hidden motives. I don't think that she actually wants Battler and Beatrice to lose, though Beatrice is dead, I guess, for now. Maybe she'll come back. I guess nobody truly dies. Maybe... Angie, please. Angie, come back. Come back, please, Angie. I need you, Angie. Okay, so... Let's start with Lambdadelta. I think that she has... I think that she doesn't really want Battler and Beatrice to lose. I think that she's planning something else. Now, Bern actively wants Battler and Beatrice to lose. So it's become quite a... I thought that Lambdadelta would become the big bad from all this time. Because Beatrice was, for the most part of the three games, she was the big bad, right? and then the third game started, and then Eva Beatrice took the big bad mantle. And then in game 4, Lambdadelta came out of nowhere saying that she was Beatrice's guardian and chained her to continue the game forever. So that's something that's a bit weird. Or I don't know what her motives really are, but it's kind of strange. Yeah, she doesn't want Battler or Beato to lose. She wants an eternal tie. Or maybe she wants... she is Beatrice's guardian, right? Maybe she wants something better for Beatrice. I don't know. It's hard to tell. She's so cruel. Maybe some kind of kindness. I don't know. So basically, I thought that Lambdadelta would be the big bad starting from game 4 and game 5. But I'm not feeling like that way anymore. I think that she is gonna be okay for the rest, I think. She's still gonna be cruel, she's still gonna play around, I guess, but still, I don't actively think that she's gonna... I don't know. It's hard to tell. Now I think that the big bad turn, instead of Lambdadelta, the big bad, I think it's Bercastel now, because, oh my gosh, she's been completely against Battler the entire episode. I thought that in the beginning that they were going to team up, but with Battler trying to teach her that the red truth is a cruel thing, but she just fucking destroyed Nazis so much that I don't know. I think that she's the new big bad, I think. For now, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Erika will overtake her master, I don't know. That would be fun. I don't know. Or maybe it was all Beatrice again, and I'm going to be fooled into... I think that Beatrice is still... I don't know. I don't know where the game's going to go for now. There's like 3 more episodes, I think. So, wow, that's a lot. Oh, Battler now knows the truth, I think. I think he's going to reveal who it is in the next episode, I think. That'll be fun. I guess in his own way, maybe. I don't know. I guess that's my hope for episode 6. Thanks for watching.